We got another tier list today. We are ranking every single LEGO Star Wars Battle Pack up until 2024. So there is a few missing. The 327th is not on here. The Mandalorian versus 332nd are not on here. 332nd, probably put it in C tier, maybe D tier. And that Mandalorian versus 332nd, I'd probably put it in D tier because of the price. But now that we got those out of the way, let's get into it. It looks like these are in release order for the most part, so that's nice. Makes things a lot easier. I think that the Clone Trooper Battle Pack, I think it's from 2007 or 2008. I think it's S tier. I think it is the best battle pack because it's 3 different clone legions. You get 2. The figure you get the most of is the plain clones, right? And then you get a 332nd clone and a Shock Trooper clone. You could army build the hell out of that. The builds are nice. Like it's a lot of the build that you could keep up. It's just great. I think this is what every battle pack should strive to be, and I think we've gotten close to it a few times. But it's S tier. Also S tier. Troop Carrier. I forget what it's called. The Battle Droid Battle Pack. I think it's just called that. I can't read the text. S tier. Easily. You get a bunch of battle droids. You get a build that you could have multiples of. The Stap is a decent build. And it's just an army builder. You buy battle packs to build armies, and this is what you're going to do with it. I think these builds, I'm putting this at B tier simply because of this figure selection, right? These guys, I don't know, this is like a Legends build, I think. Like, I think this vehicle is from Legends. It might have been one of the Battlefront games. Why are we putting Tantive officers on the battlefield? Like, we've only ever seen these guys inside of the Tantive 4. And lore-wise, I don't know if they appear anywhere else, but I'm pretty sure they're only for, like, a very specific reason. I don't know why LEGO keeps insisting to include these guys everywhere. I'm putting it in B tier. I'm not really the biggest fan of the tank. I mean, it's kind of cool. The figures are kind of lame. So, it's going to go in B tier. It's still above average battle pack, right? It's for the same people. But again, they all share the same human face. It's good for uniformity, but when you have people with their faces exposed, you kind of need different facial expressions. This is going into A tier. I kind of want to put it in S, but I feel like the build is a little lackluster. Like, this is probably the weakest build, I think, out of these 4. But it looks good. It looks good enough. It looks good enough. You get 1 Shadow Trooper and 3 White Stormtroopers. Great for army building. The build is a little lackluster. A tier. I mean, you already knew where the Clone Walker Battle Pack was going to go. I think this is still the better Battle Pack. But this is 3 of the same trooper, right? And then plus a Clone Gunner. The Clone Gunner is lame. If this didn't have a Clone Gunner in it, and it gave us a Clone Pilot even instead of a Clone Gunner, I think it'd be a lot better. But it's still a top tier battle pack, right? You can army build gunners. It's just not as useful or it's like army building these guys. Like, imagine if we got 4 clone gunners. This is what I feel like that's equivalent to. Although the clone gunners may even be more versatile. But one of the clones has a bunch of armor that you could either add on or take off. So you have the option of making a commander, but he doesn't have to be a commander. And I think that's one of the things that's so great about the battle pack. I think every battle pack that has clones, that has stormtroopers, should include some kind of pauldron or waist cape, something you could add onto the trooper that isn't an absolute necessity, but it helps differentiate the troopers if you want them to be different. The Snow Trooper Battle Pack. I'm gonna be honest, the build sucks. No one wants a bunch of Captain Veers. I don't know if that's Captain Veers specifically or just some random officer. And then the AT-AT driver. I mean, you don't need an army build these guys. The snowtroopers are cool, but I believe at that time period we were getting a lot of snowtroopers. The build is lame. Like, you're not gonna just collect a bunch of these. All of these other sets so far, you can collect a bunch of. Here, what are you gonna do with a bunch of those little wimpy command stations? The speeder bike is decent, but other than that, like, it's just, I feel like it's kind of an underwhelming battle pack. Assassin Droid Battle Pack. Who cares? D tier. The speeder is stupid. I'm gonna put a why is this a battle pack? Because why did they choose assassin droids over literally any other droid? I don't recall ever seeing. I think I saw them like a few times throughout the show, but we never seen an army of them. Yeah, you get 5 of them, but who the hell cares? If you're at a kid at 2010, I think is when these came out, 2009. I always wanted this one. I did not care about this one. Like, no one cares about building these droids. Like, these droids are lame. It would have been better if it was just the normal B1 droids, or maybe you threw in an assassin droid with like a B1 droid and a B1 pilot. Which I'm surprised we never got in a battle droid battle pack with just all the different battle droids. Anyway, I don't know why that's a battle pack. This one is D tier. I'll put it at C tier. Actually, I'll put it the same because the pilots. I think this is a very specific pilot. I think this is a name character. And then these kind of improve on that. The face wise, like all having different faces. But you have that thing that janitors use when they clean the floors. Like, I don't know why that's a build. The build is stupid. I don't even know what the hell that's supposed to be. The troopers look alright for the standards that time. I don't know what else they could have really done to improve it. They could have maybe given it a better vehicle. I don't think that would have done much justice to it. The Clone Trooper Battle Pack. 2 Bomb Squad Troopers, an ARF Trooper. The one of 2 times we get an ARF Trooper. This is the only time it's the normal white one. And then a Horn Company. My problem with this one is that I don't think we should have gotten 2 Bomb Squads. I think 1 Bomb Squad would have been fine. 2 Horn Companies or 2 ARF Troopers would have been way better. We don't need that many Bomb Squad Troopers. I think we only see them once. I think there's only a couple of them. So it's like you don't need a bomb army build these guys. I do like the variety of it, but I don't like their choice of figure distribution. But the speeder, I think the speeder is probably one of, if not the best battle pack build we've ever gotten. I'm going to put it in B tier. And that's going to... I don't know if that's a controversial pick or not. But I think B tier is good for that battle pack. Mandalorian battle pack, I think is also B tier because the builds are lame, but getting 4 Death Watch Mandalorians is pretty cool. But I think B tier sums it up. The ARC Trooper and ARF Trooper, 2 Commando droids. You get a lot of exclusive figures in this set. I think this is the only set that had Commando droids besides that Ahsoka AT-RT, which had a commander, so I don't think we ever seen these guys again. The ARC Trooper, I think it's Havoc. So we have a name trooper in a battle pack. I think it's the first time they did this. And then we have an ARF Trooper. This is where we started getting the era of, like, versus battle packs, right? 2v2, 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 2v2. I think the build is good enough. The ARC Trooper, it's the only time we see an ARC Trooper. It was cheap, affordable. I'll put it in... I can't give it A tier. I'm sorry. But having 2 commando droids kind of... but it's unique. And they've only been in this set. And there's... I'll put it in A tier. But it is leaning heavily towards a B tier. This one, we get 2 Rebel Troopers, a Stormtrooper, and a Scout Trooper. The tree build, it's okay. The speeder bike is pretty decent. I think it's still a B tier one. I don't like these versus ones because instead of like, alright, I just want Stormtroopers, I just want Rebels, you're forced to buy both. And it creates... I'd rather just have it where I could choose if I want 4 Stormtroopers or 4 Rebels. Because now you only get 1 Stormtrooper. So if you want a bunch of Stormtroopers, this is not the battle pack for you because you're only getting 1 every time you buy it. I don't know how many people really care about Scout Troopers that much. And then if you don't have any Rebels, you're going to be stuck with the same 2 Rebels over and over again. So, it's leaning towards a B tier. I'm putting it in B tier. Because it's not practical for building armies at all. This one is going in C tier. I want to put it higher. But the 2 Droidicas, we're counting Droidicas as minifigures, is already a little suspicious. They have to give us a Clone Lieutenant in here. They couldn't just give us 2 white Clone Troopers. We only get 1 white Clone Trooper, so it's the same problem. If I want to army build just white Clone Troopers, this is not the set for me. Well, it is because I don't think any other set really offered this. but it's going into C tier. I don't like the Droidicas there. I don't like the build. The build is stupid. This is one of the worst builds. The more I look at this, the more I want to put it in D tier, but it is still 2 clone troopers in the battle pack and 2 Droidicas, and they all are buildable. Like, having a lot of them does make sense. Maybe not so much for the Lieutenant, although they are kind of common. The Old Republic. The helmets, besides the helmets being completely inaccurate to the source material for the Old Republic troopers, this is probably one of the better, this might be the best versus set, actually. You get 2 Sith troopers, 2 Old Republic troopers. You get to both army build them. The build is okay. And yeah, I think it's one of the only times we got either of those figures. I think we got a Sith trooper in another set, but I don't think we got an Old Republic trooper in any other set. Decent set, decent build. This turret, I like this turret a lot. But the figures, who's really army building Royal Guards? Who's really army building Imperial officers, or not officers, but gunners? I don't want to say it's C tier. I don't like this set that much. The build is cool, but who really cares about buying? I guess it's decent because you could buy it as a one-time purchase. It is a decent set, right? So I guess it's fine in that regard. And the build is good. You could, yeah, I think it's B tier. I think it's okay. A tier for the Kashyyyk Trooper Battle Pack. Why? Because we get 2 ARF troopers and then 2 P2 clones. This is the time when they started switching to the stud shooter blasters. Not good, and it makes the build really ugly and not displayable. But you get 2 scout troopers and 2 Kashyyyk troopers. Those Kashyyyk troopers are awesome, and you can army build them, army build both of them. A tier battle pack. Attack on Utapau. S tier battle pack. I think the build is way more better. You could army build it to an extent. I think these guys are supposed to be a lot taller in canon. But you get 2 airborne troopers and 2 212 troopers. In Utapau, we see a bunch of them everywhere. So it makes sense that they're there. It makes sense to army build a bunch of those guys. And it's on the clone template, the best clone template that we've ever gotten. Easy S tier. This is simply going on here because the build is ugly and the stormtroopers are ugly. I'm putting it to the first D tier battle pack. No, it's not as bad as the other D tiers coming up. The template is so ugly for these stormtroopers. These are normal stormtroopers. This could easily be an A tier battle pack, but it's the fact that it isn't. It's in that ugly template. The build is stupid and just nonsensical in portion. I get it's a battle pack. It's a battle pack build. It's still nonsense. When you see the actual in-universe of what this is supposed to be, it's going into C tier. The Shadow Trooper Battle Pack. I think it's an okay battle pack. The Stormtroopers are pretty cool. The Royal Guards are pretty cool. Again, you're not really army building that many of the Royal Guards. The Stormtroopers are okay, or Shadow Troopers, I'm sorry. And the Speeder is not that good of a build. Senate Commandos. Again, I'm putting it in... this is tough. I'll put it in B tier. You get 1 captain and 3 regular Senate Commandos. It would be great. Army building this would be great if they weren't Senate Commandos. Because I don't know who even thought of putting Senate Commandos in a battle pack. Because we don't need that many of these. The build is okay. But in universe, like, how many times do we really see Senate Commandos? We don't see them that often. It's not like you're trying to army build 50 of these guys. I'm glad we got it on the updated clone template. The best clone template that we got. It's nice, but I mean, they're not clones, they're Senate Commandos. I want to put it in C tier, but yeah, I'm putting it in C tier. I don't think it belongs in B tier. Geonosis, I think is on the same level as the Kashyyyk one. These 3 battle packs, what a time, because you get these 3 battle packs and the shells at the same time before we plunge. But yeah, I mean, they're lore wise they make no sense because they should be ARF troopers if anything, and airborne troopers in Geonosis don't exist as far as my knowledge is concerned. The build is goofy, but it's just cool getting that Geonosis pattern. I love that Geonosis pattern so much. These clones are just very, buildable and collectible. D tier for the resistance ones. It's just a bunch of guys. The build is okay, but man, these troopers are just ugly. And honestly, I've never once in my life cared about building up resistance troopers. And I don't think anybody else does, because I think the aftermarket price right now affects that. Reflects that, I should say. This one is only not getting F tier because it does include 2 first order stormtroopers, but that turret is horrible. I guess you could use it as other purpose, so it's not the worst because you can't dual purpose it as something else. Why are we getting 2 officers? Why do we need a gunner? Why do we need an officer? It throws. If they were just 4 stormtroopers, this would be a better battle pack, but it's not. We get that ugly officers, and nobody wants to army build those guys. This is the best rebel battle pack we've gotten and that we will ever get. The one based on Battlefront 2, you get 2 alien heads, 2 humans, you get unique helmets, you get a decent speeder build. Yeah, the Duros, I think that is Cad Bane species. I forget how to properly say it. I don't think a normal minifigure head really is the correct call for that. But nonetheless, we get another head of that. We get the Greedo species, and the outfits look really nice. This is ranked higher than this, but it's not S tier wise, because the build, what the hell is that build? I never remember playing Battlefront 2 and seeing this station. I mean, actually no, I do. Yeah, I remember in the intro cinematic. Remember you got an officer sitting in a shock trooper right behind him, and they're just shooting a little turret off into space. But nonetheless, we get the battle damage stormtroopers, which is really cool. I love those battle damage stormtroopers. They're some of my favorite figures, I think, ever. The Imperial Stormtrooper is really nice, and then the officer unfortunately drags the set, but I think it's one of the nicer officers that I wouldn't mind getting a few of. The Rogue One Rebel Battle Pack, I think, is B. I think the builds are actually pretty decent. The Rebels are okay looking, but I just love these Rebels way more. And then because the Rebels is like, how many of these guys do you really want to collect? But they still look nice. They're still nice figures. The build is nice. S tier. Easy S tier. The Death Troopers are awesome. The Stormtroopers are awesome. It's on the best Stormtrooper template we've ever gotten, minifigure wise. The Death Troopers look really great. And then it still helps keep the exclusivity with Krennic Shuttle with their pauldrons in that set. Next up, they started to fix their mistakes with this battle pack, with this one, right? The 2016 one to the 2018 one, I think that was the correct year, right? Or maybe this is 2015. Maybe it's 2014. I don't know. The updated one is better. 2 Stormtroopers, a build that could care less about, and the Flame Trooper. It's still in C tier. It's still not that great of a battle pack. Maybe it's just because I don't like the First Order. But moving on. I'm putting it right here. Why is this a battle pack? This should have been a $30 set, right? Give us an actual build. I'm glad that we got the figures, and the figures look great. Don't get me wrong. But this is not a battle pack. This is not what a battle pack should be. I don't know. This should have been like a $30, $40 play set, and then you could give us all the characters. So that way we could have an actual ship to display, because what is that speeder? You're really only getting it to have the 4 iconic bounty hunters, which is not a problem, right? We should be able to get iconic figures for cheap. But it's taking up battle pack slot, and battle packs are not about this. If this was a $30 play set, it'd be an S tier set, but it's not. Why is this a set? Who the hell cares about the execution troopers? And then we get this 2 gunners this time. So instead of 1 gunner, we get 2, but one of them has a face mask open, so it makes it better. And then the build is horrible. I don't like this one at all. Why is this a battle pack? This shouldn't even exist. See, this tier is weird because it could be sets that just don't belong in a battle pack category, or ones that are so bad that they don't deserve to be a battle pack. Same with this. Why are we getting battle packs with Jawas? 2 Jawas. Yay, we can army build a miscellaneous astromech droid, Tusken Raiders, and Jawas. Wonderful. That's exactly what I want to do when I army build Lego Star Wars. I don't care about Stormtroopers. I don't care about Clone Troopers. I care about Jawas, astromechs, and a Tusken Raider. As much as it pains me, This build is probably one of, if not the worst battle pack build that we've gotten. The 2 clone troopers are awesome looking. They're fantastic. And then they go and ruin it by putting Ki-Adi-Mundi and Bear Sophy in here. Those figures look great. Don't get me wrong, and it's a cheap way to get the figures. They could have thrown those 2 figures in any other episode 2 set. And then give us 2 other clone troopers, right? Give us a pilot for the gunship. And then another white clone trooper. And that would have been perfect. This would have been an easy S tier, A tier battle pack. Because the build is still horrible. But why did you put Ki-Adi-Mundi and Bear Sophy in here? It's just... I got no more words for it. This Imperial Patrol Trooper, I think I'm going to have to put it in C tier. You get 2 Patrol Troopers, which they're cool. They're unique helmet molds. But then you get 2 officers. Drags down the set. Well, no, I think one is a gunner and one is an officer. I don't know. Technician, maybe? Who cares? Why do they keep putting these in battle packs? I don't know. I'm glad actually we moved out of that trend, because they're not really in battle packs that much anymore. Why is this a battle pack? We do not need Praetorian Guards in battle packs. There's only like, what, 7 of them total? In like the whole scene? In like the entire First Order? So why do they need a battle pack? And then you just got the Cuck Trooper over there just sitting in the corner watching everything else happen. The concept for the set is cool. I'll give it that, right? It's a cool concept. But we already have a better version that came out, I think, that same year where there was a bunch of other guards. And it's like, if you want to complete the whole thing, you have to buy these 3 in order to fill out all the other guard spots. And whatever. Why is this a battle pack? Battlefront 2 Infernal Squad. They should have given them each their respective heads. And then give them all their helmets. And then made it like a $40 set. But it's like they're afraid to do Battlefront 2 sets that aren't battle packs. I don't know why. But I don't know why that's a battle pack. This is technically a battle pack. I think this is an A tier battle pack. For $20, we get an extra figure. Right? I forget how many extra stormtroopers we actually fully get. We get in that ugly helmet mold now. The dual molded helmets. Not good. But we get the 20th anniversary Han in there. And I think it's like on the same tier as that. Like, it's just an updated version of that. But except the build is actually a lot better. And like it is displayable. It's actually a pretty nice build. And then if you didn't at the time, if you didn't want the Han Solo, well, you could sell a Han Solo for like $5, then you can make these $5 cheaper. The Sith Trooper Battle Pack, I think, is actually a decent battle pack. We'll put it at C tier. The 2 Jump Troopers, I wish these guys were just Sith Troopers. And why do we have another officer? I do not like officers. If this was mostly just Sith Troopers, this could be an A tier battle pack. But the Sith Jump Troopers, why? Are they even red in the movie? I thought the Jump Troopers were white. And then we get the officer. And I think it's the only time we get a final order officer. B tier, I am strongly considering putting in S tier, but the troopers are cool and you can army build them. Mandalorian, D tier. I want to put it in why is this a battle pack, but I understand why it's a battle pack. It's just not a good one. The build, the speeder is decent, random terrain build, and it's like, how many of these guys do you really need? It's a one-time purchase thing. Maybe you can mix and match the armor since they're not named characters, even though I think they are. Like, I think these are actual characters that appear in the background. I'm just going to put it in D tier. I should probably put it in why is this a battle pack. But, you know, kids can mix and match the colors, the characters, and it could still make sense. Where I can't really say the same about these 3. It's like you can't just put Bossk's head on Dengar's body and say could pass as an actual character. The 501st Battle Pack. I think this was a step in the right direction, and they really fumbled with the ones after. $30 for 6 troopers, or I think 7 troopers total, because I think there's 3 droids. 4 clones, 3 droids, 2 nice builds. Although I'm not a big fan of ATRT, they just don't know how to make ATRTs. The speeder bike is okay. They're on the new 2020 template. I hate this template. And you want to know why? My biggest gripe with this template is that if you actually zoom in on the trooper designs, I can't do it here, but when you look up the 2020 clone trooper, it doesn't fit the proper 501st insignia, right? The logo. 501st Troopers have an eye on them, right? They have a line and a dot above. The template is so bad that they don't have room on the chest, on like the stomach area for that. So it's just the blue blob. And it looks horrible. I can't get over that fact. I'm putting this in A tier actually, simply because of the clone templates. We've been asking for the set. We were campaigning for the set. We finally get it. I think it's great. $30. If only we could have kept that price tag. But the builds, you could get a lot of these builds. You could buy a lot of these. And we get a Jump Trooper, which is really nice also. I mean, the set's it's a nice set. $30. You collect a few of them, and everything looks in place. The updated Snowtrooper Battle Pack. You get 3 Snowtroopers and then a Snow Scout Trooper, which is an interesting choice. The terrain builds are actually pretty decent. The speeder bike is decent. I think it's an A tier battle pack, honestly. But then that's me putting this on the same tier. I'll put an S tier. I will put it in S tier for everything that this set means for the community also. I mean, this is an easy army building set. Maybe not the Scout Trooper. But I think it's still... We get that really nice Scout Trooper helmet now in a cheap set. So that's another bonus to this set. A tier, I think, is fine for it. The 501st Specialist Battle Pack, A tier. This is what I want in a battle pack. Variety in army building, right? You can army build a ton of officers, a ton of specialists, a ton of heavy troopers. And it makes sense. Like, in game-wise, you see a bunch of these troopers running around. And I wish they did this for more Legions. I don't know if the set just didn't sell well, and that's why this is the only one that we're going to get. Or maybe we will get ones. Because I would love a Wolfpack 1 with this variety. Except if we do other Legions like that, I hope that it's a heavy, an officer, a specialist, and then just a regular grunt. 501st, I understand why they didn't do another grunt, because we've been seeing 501st grunts everywhere. I really want this set remade in the Coruscant Guard version. Wolfpack, 327th. Even the 87th, I think it was, or the 81st, the Sentinel Corps, the Maroon guys, like the Phase 2, the ones they had on Naboo at the beginning of the game before customization came. I think this set is just awesome. The build is lame, but I would love to get more of this type of set from Battlefront 2. We just need more Battlefront 2 troopers in general. 332nd Battle Pack, B tier. It's just an easy way to army build the 332nd troopers. But why do we have Captain Vong and it's not Captain Vong, right? It's just the 332nd trooper. He might have his badge, but his helmet in universe looks different from everyone else's helmets. He has dark marks on his helmet. He doesn't have any here. It's just kind of lazy. They only give him a name tag and a visor instead of like actually making it look like the character. I don't even think he has a jetpack on in here. It's lame. It's lazy. But if you count him as just a generic clone commander, then it could work. S tier. This is better than the 501st one. You get 4 troopers. You get even more minifigures in this one. You get builds that I think they're kind of a little bit more messier, but you can still army build them. And then there's a lot of alt builds online. And then I think the Tri-Droid is a decent droid that you could build a bunch of. I mean, for $30, you cannot ask for a better set. It is getting like 2 battle packs in one, right? 5 battle droids. 3 of them are super battle droids. 3 white clone troopers, and then a shock trooper. This is absolutely perfect. This was the last good battle pack that we got before that nasty 332nd one, which I want to charge $45 for less droids and same piece count. This is just miles better. It's S tier battle pack. I got nothing but praise for it. I think if you don't have this battle pack, I'd recommend picking up a few, because I think FOMO is going to really affect you. Although I don't see this going crazy on the aftermarket. It'll probably be like $40 in the aftermarket. This will probably be cheaper on the aftermarket than the 332nd will be at retail. Sorry, 327th. I don't know how to rank this one. This is tough. I think I'll just put it in... I don't really care about how the Mandalorians... Alright. I think it's B tier because I think you can collect these guys. The Imperial Commandos are pretty decent. The Mandalorians or whatever. The builds are okay. I don't think it's anything special. It's nothing bad. Leave it at C tier at that. Then we have the minifigure packs they put on this list. The Hoth one I think is C tier. Because again, how many Hoth troopers do you really need? This is really you're only getting it for the figures by themselves. But at the time, if you remember, this was in stock quite often. The Lego.com only sold these. They're only out for a year. These were very hard to get. But the Hoth one was easier to get than this one. This one was impossible to find. Right? They would drop and then they would sell out like within 10 minutes, if even. But this one, 2 white clone troopers and a clone commander. This is the only time we've gotten white clone troopers in this template. The build is better than the one we got. Where is it at? It's better than this one, right? They're both command centers, but I think this build is slightly better. You know, it's not meant to be like a battle station, like you're taking it into battle. Like, no. But you're really only getting it for the figures, and the figure selection is great. We do see the clone commander way more often than we see the clone trooper, which makes no sense, right? He comes up in the advent calendar, he comes in the gunship. Why he came in the gunship? Well, remember, the clone commander can double as a clone pilot because, let's be honest, all anybody remembers is a white clone trooper. I'm still a yellow clone trooper. I'm still pissed at that whole UCS gunship fiasco. Maybe I'll do a video about it and take out my frustration with it. Anyway, this is my ranking of every single LEGO Star Wars Battle Pack. Let me know what you guys think down below. What is your favorite Battle Pack of all time? And I'll see you guys on the next one.